Hello, friends. Welcome to one-on-one coaching, where let's just say I'm trying to answer the question of how do we um, create a life where passions and success meet. Today, I'm starting a little bit different just because I'm having a heart-to-heart sharing a new level of awareness, if you could say that. Um, I think in the last couple of episodes, you've seen something a little bit different from the prior weeks or so. But I talked about these questions that drive my life, and it forced me to think about this video message and the reasons I started blogging and the reason I started doing all the things. But I remember when I started my journey back in 2013 on leadership development and personal development, I started facilitating a mastermind discussion on the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And I remember this one specific person uh, kept coming to the meetings. Not sure if it was to participate. I felt like it was more to stir conversation and just create this argument for just the sake of creating argument. And the question that this person continuously shared was, so how do we apply this to leadership? And that's when the idea of me writing a blog, which at that point I was writing messages on Fridays because my manager wanted us to share what we were learning about ourselves and leadership every Friday, and they called it the leadership DDs. And I started something similar but on my own, and I started blogging, and that's when the blog started. Um, Interestingly enough, I started the blog with the intent to serve this specific individual or a group of individuals that may have had the same question. How do you apply personal development to managing and leadership? So I started as a way to serve. I started sharing the link here and there, and I noticed nobody was actually reading it. So it didn't take long, maybe a month or two, and I started getting too focused on how many likes do I have, how many followers do I have, how do I get more people to read it, and it became all about them. It all about not them. It all about me trying to get people to engage and interact with me. And that's related to the question I have. How this question of am I really helping, and how do I get my message validated? That's kind of what that starts into. So something that started with the intent to serve actually became uh, a self-serving mechanism. How do I validate that I add value? How do I validate that I'm actually helping? And it that's where the ego starts playing, because that's where I started finding ways to validate my ego and validate I was doing something important. Obviously, at that specific stage, I was still trying to find my own path. I was trying to find my way to help other people, and this became one way, but it also became something for me to work on ego related items. Now, later on, I kind of did start claiming my own space and building things for me rather than for someone else, and finding my own tribe and working with and helping those people that actually engage with my content. Um, so I kind of conquer that side of it. I stopped caring a little bit about likes, but it didn't take maybe 2 years later. It was back to the same thing, and I thought I addressed it, but it still doesn't seem like I got it. And it was like a cycle on and off, because I kept thinking, I know what my message is, I know what I was trying to help people do, and somehow I was too focused on getting more likes. Then came social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all sorts of things, and the same thing happened. Like I started thinking that because I wasn't getting enough likes, or comments that I wasn't sharing anything good. And now I'm 6 years later after that, I'm on a journey in which I'm stating that I can help people start designing a life worthy of them. While at the same time, I'm just realizing that these messages are just another version of the same thing. Something I'm frustrated, disappointed, um, wondering if I'm doing what I'm doing wrong because I don't get engagement. I don't seem to be creating momentum in a sense. I'm not I'm not growing my audience. It's draining my energy at times because I feel like there's a little time commitment to blog every day and share a message. And again, it's not really giving me any energy anymore. So I guess this is the beginning. No, this is the end of the beginning, and another transition is coming. But I'm realizing that I'm wasting my I'm fighting my ego, in which the ego is finding new cunning ways to fight for attention and to get me to focus on stupid metrics that don't mean anything. Because I don't, even if I get every like out there, it doesn't necessarily mean they're doing anything about it. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are changing the way they're approaching their lives. I have no way of controlling that, and it's interesting that I'm using that in a way to like feel whether I should blog again or not. So I'm not sure where this is gonna go in the next week or in the next day or so. I know I'm just I'm just noticing I keep fighting the same thing, trying to be important that's not really my goal. My goal is to find a way to use my talents to help people, and my talents coaching. So maybe what's going to come is just I'm going to find people that want to be coached in the exchange for having examples of people being coached on this forum or medium, and see where that takes me. I think that's something that will be more enjoyable. What we'll see. If you have listened so far and you think like that's a cool idea for you to try and for me to try, feel free to reach out and we can schedule time to do it, and I'll share part of the interview if you're willing to do so. I'll share part of the coaching conversation in this video. Other than that, I keep thinking, um, I think this is the ending from the beginning of this blog, and then something new is going to go. Um, thanks for watching this far. Not really sure what else to say other than it's interesting to keep fighting the same ego. It's just you conquer it in a way, and it just keeps adding layers and layers, and it just never goes away. So I'll see you on the next one, if there is one. Bye.